Hey YouTube, Shinobi here with a review of the Figuarts Zero Smilodon Dopant. Okay, like I said in Claydol, depending on if this goes up before or after Claydol, I don't really know the schedule right now. But I really wish he was an actual Figuart. He would have benefited greatly from articulation, mostly because Smilodon was a very dynamic character. It was a cat. It ran around on four legs, it jumped on people, it clawed people, it was like and stuff. So it would have greatly benefited from articulation. Unfortunately, Smilodon was a side character, while Claydol was a main character, so Claydol gets the opposable treatment, when I don't really think her design warrants it, since she's just all while Smilodon's running around going and stabbing things. So I think he would have really benefited from being a actual Figuart. Things like Terror and Taboo don't really lose too much, but I think he loses a lot by being a Zero, which is kind of sad. So the stand does just come right off. He does stand all right without the stand, so no real worries. If you shake the table, he might fall over, but he seems pretty stable. So taking a quick look at the box, now that I just rambled on about the figure. You got Smilodon standing straight right here, Smilodon Dopant down the side, the logo double. The Ishinomori store logo right here, Figuarts Zero. Him on the side, pictures, fighting Axel, his accessories. And the family portrait right here. Once Taboo gets in here, and during the Taboo review, I will bring everyone down and not emulate this, but just pose them together in the camera frame. And y'all can see the Sonozakis being all lovey-dovey, and ha, that's a joke. So anyway, taking a look at the figure, he isn't that bad. He's got quite a few flaws, I think, though. So here's his little cat-clawed dragon hand. I don't know what this is trying to be. It looks like a dragon. But anywho, his head sculpt is interesting. For some reason, I think there should be some white in here somewhere. I don't really remember his actual face in the show all that well, but it just looks really off for some reason. His fur's all molded and stuff. It looks pretty decent. His tail, it's just soft rubber, so I can move around. And, I mean, he doesn't move, so there really isn't anything too large to go over. Here's his driver, painted really nice. There's his backside. There's his butt. So, yeah, that's really all there is to him, since he doesn't move. So, he just looks cool. My complaints. I don't really have any complaints with the sculpt. I think the sculpt is absolutely fantastic. The Zeroes do an excellent job at sculpt, considering they have to, because that's the only thing they do. But the coloring is just a little bit off to me. I would have loved to see a little bit more variation in the levels of gold. Like, you've got some here, like it's lighter here, and then a little bit darker, and then pretty dark right in here. So that's nice. I would just like to see more of that. When you look up close, there's quite a bit of variation, but it's very subtle variation. I would have loved to see a little bit more consistent variation in the fur to give the appearance of shadows and stuff like that. As it is, it just looks really flat. And I honestly don't think it was worth the price, unlike Terror. No, Terror, I guess, wasn't really worth the price either, but that's a story for a different day. Alright, so here's Smilodon's stand, the same Sonozaki gold color, with the Smilodon logo right there, which is pretty cool. The fangs and the S's and stuff. Smilodon, and then right under here, it's one of Terror's phrases, obviously, since Miku couldn't talk. It says, "When you've eaten, you put forth your enthusiasm and bring it home, Miku." Something along the lines of that. It was said toward the end of the show, I believe. So, hooray for that. Really cool. And holes on his feet, they just peg right in to the holes on the stand. And voila. And then also he comes with this spoon. This was the little spoon that Terror twirled around, and Miku's like, "Ooh, spoon, that means food!" And all that fun stuff. So, I don't really know what you do with this exactly, because, I mean, he can't hold it, and Terror, I guess Terror can do that, or something, maybe? I don't know. Nope, you're dropping it, Terror. No, whatever. So, yeah, pretty pointless-ass accessory, really, but, I don't know. Couldn't really, it came with too much else. So, if you can find this cheap at Mandarake, then go for it, just on the, like I said with Claydol, just on the merit that you can get the entire Sonozaki family is really cool, and for that it's worth it, but as a toy itself, by itself, really just not that great. I prefer Terror a lot more. Just as a size comparison next to a Figuart, since he's right here, I'll just use Rising Ixa. So there he is next to a normal Figuart. So scale-wise isn't terrible. I still feel like the Zeros are small compared to actual Figuarts. So that's a bit of a bother, I think. But overall, his scaling isn't too bad considering he's a cat, so he can be a little bit smaller. And then, like I just did, here he is next to Terror. That scale seems to work pretty well for me, I think. So yeah, a figure on his own, he's not really worth it, but if you're planning on getting all those Sonozakis, obviously he's necessary. And he does look good with all of them. But again, I think the figure just lost a lot of merits by being a Zero instead of an actual Figuart. So, get him if you want, really. So you can check out our rent review at RidersRunnersRumbles.com, bringing you the latest token news in the craziest way possible. And of course, you can discuss Smilodon and the Sonozakis and the Double and the Figuarts and the Zeros at the RAM boards at RidersRunnersRumbles.com/forum. So take care and have a great one.